Jack cries at the Thanksgiving table after hearing Daniel's confession to Phyllis. Drama about the young and agitated. This week on The Young and the Restless, Nate and Tucker get into it, Abby shocks Nikki and Victor, and Johnny chats with Chelsea. Tessa and Mariah assist Sharon with Thanksgiving dinner preparations at Crimson Lights. Nick takes a box from the kitchen and announces that they will be well fed thanks to New Hope. Sharon will always remember the thoughtful present given to her by Ashland in memory of Ree. They discuss Noah working on an art project with Christian and Faith spending the holiday with her roommate. Aid arrives in the form of Victoria and Johnny. Chelsea and Connor walk in on them as they're joking and say they want to help out by volunteering. There is a brief eye contact between Johnny and Victoria. After Chelsea says that she has moved to the attic, Sharon begins assigning work. Johnny is asked by Victoria if he is okay, and he replies that he is. Next, Victoria inquires about Nick's thoughts on Sharon gifting Chelsea the flat above. She suspects there may be more to the story than just holiday cheer. Connor cautions Johnny not to treat his mother rudely as the pair sits on the porch. Johnny, avoiding her, suddenly inquires, "What's going on?" Connor says she became severely sad and sought medical attention. She doesn't look too shaken up, but her heavy breathing suggests otherwise. Johnny realizes that he was a complete jerk to her, and that he never intended for this to happen. Johnny doubts Connor's word that his mother made it clear it had nothing to do with them. Abby meets up with Nikki and her dad, who is startled to see her still at society. Relaxing before heading back to the ranch for dinner, as Nikki puts it. If Victor is correct, Abby, Chance, and Dom should all arrive late. When asked why she and Chance wouldn't be spending the day together, Abby stutters, "To be honest, we're having some troubles." Both Nikki and Victor feel terrible at the news. When Devin enters the room, Abby states that she will not go into further detail. As Abby leaves, Victor tells Nikki that he was completely unaware of any problems in her marriage. Star of the young and irrepressible most memorable red carpet looks from Sharon Case. Abby, across the room, informs Devon that she was surprised to see him today. He says he and Tucker will be sharing a Thanksgiving. Just seeing Devon's face brings peace of mind to Abby. For it, he is grateful. When Devon inquires as to the whereabouts of Chance, Abby replies that she is quite sure it's finished, since he has already left the house. Only when Dom is not around does he visit. Apologies come from Devon. At the dinner table, Victor is mystified as to what is going on between Abby and Chance. Abby didn't want to talk about that today, and Nikki reminds him of that. Phyllis shows up at Noah's club and begins exploring. When Daniel enters the room, she squeals with delight and hugs him tightly. She continues to hug her son and gush over the unexpected visit from her son. Both Tracy and Jack at the Abbott residence smile as they survey the dinner table. Allie, who is spending her first holiday with Jack and the gang, exclaims in the living room how excited she is. Once Dean has arrived, she wishes everyone a joyous Thanksgiving. Faces are made by Summer, Ashley, and Allie. Sharon sends Billy and Lily to Victoria to see whether the twins are at home after they arrive at Crimson Lights to provide assistance. When asked if they are, Lily replies no, before pointing across the room to where she sees Chelsea. As she approaches the other woman, she excuses herself, drawing cautious glances from Billy. Lily says she hasn't seen Chelsea since she found out the news and she wants to catch her up. Phyllis informs Daniel that he hasn't been home in far too long while taking pictures with him at Noah's club. Daniel observes that she's feeling more nostalgic than normal. She suggests going to that Burlington restaurant for Chinese food. "Let's go out and have a good time. We can always catch up with Summer after she's finished with the Abbotts." Daniel thinks it's a great rendition. When Abby sees Devon at society, she wonders how he's doing as Nikki and Victor rush in to say their goodbyes. Abby leads them out and explains that she will not be joining them for dinner. On the way home, they can swing by to see Dom, who is with the babysitter. Tucker sees Nikki and Victor leave and figures Nikki is happy to have learned about Dayan. She believes that this will let her to leave Geno City behind for good. Tucker, according to Victor's recommendation, should leave town. Tucker has some things to complete there. Victor gives a heads up that he's keeping an eye on him. While Dean raves over the pies at the Abbott home, Ashley storms about stomping his feet. Diane says to Jack, "I hope your sister won't ruin the day," in a hushed voice. Jack already warned Ashley, but advises Jenkins not to read too much into that. At that moment, Tracy and Harrison walked in, and everyone immediately became obsessed with him. Lily expresses her optimism for Chelsea's well-being by telling her so at Crimson Lights. Chelsea thanks her. Lily inquires as to how things are going, and Chelsea reveals she's taking it day by day. "I truly can't thank Billy enough. He actually saved my life." Johnny walks across the room and informs his parents that he is aware Chelsea checked into the hospital due to her depression. He worries the way he handled her after finding out she was his bio mom. Johnny walks up to the booth where Lily and Chelsea are sitting and asks to talk to Chelsea for a bit. We almost see a complete collapse of her jaw. Lily excuses herself and Johnny sits down. Cheerfully, Chelsea inquires as to Johnny's topic of interest. Across the room, Billy understands this comes as a shock to Victoria, who says, "Poor Chelsea. I didn't realize how vulnerable she was. What did you think? How bad was it?" That, Billy says, was about as serious as it gets, and they're lucky to have her with them. Victoria wonders why he didn't tell her sooner. To Billy, the story wasn't his to share because only he and Sharon were privy to the details. Victoria feels horrible for Chelsea, but she's afraid about Johnny and how this may affect things moving ahead. Billy's scared too because some of it is out of their control. They just have to be there for him. Billy comments to Johnny and Chelsea, "It looks like he's handling this with some maturity." They're at the table. Johnny tells Chelsea he's sorry for getting angry with her after he found out she was his biological mother. If it upset her, he truly is sorry and hopes she is doing better today. Chelsea appreciates his honesty but wants to reassure him that he is not to blame. She says she's sorry she placed him in such a tough spot and that she's doing much better now that the rocky time is through. Going ahead, she hopes they can be friends. The two people make a handshake. Connor and Sharon both watch from across the room smiling. Lily and Sharon, who are conversing at the counter, both think that it's wonderful that people are supporting Chelsea. Sharon tells Lily she deserves credit for hanging in there with Billy, who has spent a lot of time and energy assisting Chelsea. Lily is holding out hope that things will settle down soon. All of the Abbotts are raving about Harrison's holiday cards when they arrive at the house. As Phyllis's name appears on the list, Diane naturally wants to know where she is. Summer states she's with Daniel and she'll meet up with them later. Ashley explains that Abby isn't coming and she'll spend time with her and Dom later. This is what a good mother does after all. Jack, who interrupts to find out if Noah will be stopping by, and Diane are both aware of who the target is. She assures her that he will visit as soon as he finishes up with the Newmans. Ashley suggests to Tracy in a low voice that someone tell Diane that the table is full. Billy sends Jack a text saying he and Lily are running late because they're volunteering at the coffee shop. Once dinner is ready, Jack will announce it. As they all sit down to dinner, Ashley frowns. Daniel inquires about Phyllis and Summer's employment at Marchetti while they are out on the town. She mumbles, "Oh yeah, it's very fun," before shifting the conversation back to him. Phyllis needs to know the current whereabouts of Heather and Lucy. Daniel says Heather and Lucy are in Portugal for the time being since Heather has a temporary job there. He didn't join them, as Phyllis points out. Daniel claims he had a ton of stuff to take care of that couldn't wait and believed it would be a wonderful experience for Lucy. "Yeah, like what?" Phyllis asks sharply. Daniel knew he couldn't keep anything from his mom, and he's honest about how tense things had been between him and Heather. It's been some time since that happened. The last time Phyllis saw them was in June, and she assumed everything was okay. Even while Daniel says that he doesn't, his face says otherwise. Phyllis assures him that she and his sister are always there for him. "Just give me a ring whenever you need anything, okay?" Concerned about his future, she inquires about his ambitious aspirations. Daniel is considering a new path for his life and how he may best use his skills. He hasn't told Phyllis anything, but she likes hearing this nevertheless. As a gesture of joy, she proposes a toast. When they meet at society, Tucker admits to Devon that he was taken aback when he accepted his invitation to dinner. He had anticipated having plans with Lily. Devon promises to swing by the penthouse after work. Tucker hopes to become a more consistent companion for him. When Nate and Elena walk in, Devon smiles, but then he notices them. Nate and Elena are out at a restaurant when Abby suggests a table, and Elena wonders if they should go somewhere else. Nate doesn't want to play it that way and walks over to welcome Devon and Tucker, who tells him what he did to his family was terrible, and that he leave Devon alone now. At the Abbott mansion, Jack wants to go around the table and have everyone state what they're thankful for. To set the pace, Ash offers to go first. She's glad for her family and how unified they all are. Tracy counts herself really lucky to have so many people who love and care for her. After the death of her father, Allie is grateful to have found this loving family. Kyle feels grateful for Summer and Harrison. Summer is grateful to have Kyle and Harrison in her life, and Harrison is grateful for mashed potatoes. Jack prompts Diane to take a turn. She appreciates Kyle and Harrison and being adopted into their family. A glare from Ashley. Jack reminds her he asked for no conflict today. She suggests he tell Diane not to get too comfy there. When Nick says the line at Crimson Lights goes around the block, patrons applaud themselves. After Lily leaves to assist Nick, Maria and Tessa inquire as to what else Sharon requires of them. Sharon says, "How about an update?" "What's the update on the pregnant lady who was thinking about you and your wife, Joss?" Tessa shares the news that her cousin will be taking care of the newborn. They're all hurt, but Maria takes comfort in the fact that she assured them she would have picked them if they weren't related to her. The couple anticipated a challenging journey ahead as they pursued adoption. Tessa insists that all will be worthwhile once they bring their newborn home. Johnny tells his mother about his conversation with Chelsea while she sits on the other side of the room. His kindness and integrity have made Victoria very pleased with him. On the patio, Billy inquires as to Chelsea's exchange with Johnny. She describes him as incredibly kind, and she told him he was innocent. Billy probes her to find out what percentage of the truth she believes he actually knows. She won't provide anything more than the fact that he was hospitalized. When Billy inquires as to her whereabouts, she replies that she'll be eating dinner with Connor and Adam. When Lily opens the door, Chelsea is already being invited to stay for dessert. Back at the society, Elena is troubled by Tucker's words to Nate. She isn't sure if she should be worried or not. She is worried about Tucker McCall, but Nate tells her he can handle him. For Elena, "It doesn't matter to me that he's Devon's dad since he hasn't been a good parent to Devon in a long time. You and Devon should work things out without his help." Nate is absolutely ecstatic. Because of her unwavering encouragement, he thinks the world of her. Devon assures Tucker at dinner that he is capable of handling his own problems. When Tucker sees Ashley pull up, he immediately gets to his feet and goes outside to welcome her. She claims she has to see Abby and is fed up with eating with Diane, so she's on the lookout for her. The moment has come to subdue that whore. There is a farewell toast at the Abbott mansion, and Jack is the one to give it. He imagines that John and Dana are looking down on them with pride, knowing that their descendants go on in the form of their great-grandchildren. Jack sheds emotions as he raises a glass to loyalty, family, love, compassion, and many future family celebrations.